Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're talking about how the Kraken is the best performing balisong on YouTube. Quick disclaimer, this is a dull work tool, safe for children, no injuries can be done with this. So yeah, YouTube, please do not demonetize this video. As I can now say I have monetization, 1,000 subscribers, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers and the watch hours. Quickly, before we get started with the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You got to say it as a YouTuber. Feel free to join the channel as well. It's like down there somewhere. The memberships do help out for anyone that wishes to join. And I'll give you guys a shout out at the end of the video as well. I love reading you guys' comments, and turn your notification bell on, which is, I don't know what that's supposed to do, but I guess that tells you when I upload. Or I can just tell you right now, it is every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 3 p.m. GMT, so convert that to your time zone. It should be quite early in the morning in the States, and in the evening for the rest of the world, for the Eastern world, like afternoon to evening for anywhere to the east of the States, or the east of the United Kingdom. I try to upload at a time where most people will be awake, but early enough that it's not inconvenient and I can't see kind of the performance of the video whilst I'm awake, because obviously I do understand that America is my biggest audience, because that's where balisongs are the least restricted, and so that's what it is. Getting into the Kraken, sorry for the long intro, guys. This thing really does well on YouTube, and I cannot thank you guys enough for it, and it really is enigmatic in how well this guy performs. I can have a dry spout of videos, for example, and then I had one Kraken video. I've only put out 2 Kraken videos, and they have performed better than the other videos around it. Now, I do understand that this is simply due to the Kraken's popularity. This knife was released as a design in 2019, I believe. It was pretty revolutionary to think that you could have a balisong that wasn't cheap, that was well-made. I won't deny it's a well-made balisong. I've had the real Kraken. It's a well-made balisong with aluminium handles and blade steel that wasn't kind of S30 something, or some of the more premium blade steels for knives. To have something that was a little more budget-oriented, for how much budget-oriented a $200-300 knife can be, I think it was an impressive feat. I do think that having aluminium as a material for handles has definitely improved the accessibility of balisongs. I think that the Kraken, in terms of at the time when it came out, price to performance, really was something else. It's not been seen something as performant for as good of a price, considering the last kind of juggernaut of the balisong world that was super performant would have been something like the Alpha Beast, which was like a dream knife. Everyone wanted an Alpha Beast, or like a Tachyon or something. There was a bunch of knives, some of the MTech stuff was out also at the time, but we're not getting into the history of the balisong community. This is a super well-performing knife. Not only in flipping, in fact, it is the kind of gold standard of balisongs at the moment, and rightfully so. I mean, it does well at rollovers, it does all the rollover stuff really well, right? 8 balls, helixes, okay, if you can do a helix, but, helixes. It does fans really well, your standard fan, choker fan, palm fan. Does all of that really well, and it even does chaplains well, right? Okay, if I can do it, thanks bedsheet. Yeah, it really does chaplains well as well. You did see me chaplaining earlier. It goes into 0G. Okay, I can't 0G chaplain apparently, but it does a 0G chaplain. I'm just rubbish at flipping this morning apparently. And I really do think this is a fantastic flipper, especially for the price. And the Bali Plus clone here is also really incredible for the price. It flips slightly differently to the real deal, but I honestly think for those of us who are in either countries where it's difficult to get a Kraken that isn't secondhand, or you simply just do not have the funds for an actual Kraken, I do think that the Bali Plus Kraken is something that can really fulfill all your Kraken-y needs. Especially you can get this in this beautiful blue tanto or teal. Actually, I think, yeah, it comes in all these colors now, like teal, red, silver, blue. Beautiful, beautiful colors. I do think the teal with the silver blade is also a fantastic look. I think that if there was like 2 Krakens to get, it would be that, and then this, although you can't just buy this trim, so this is more of a custom made one. I do think that if you can get the teal with like a silver blade, or even the inked blade, really do go for that, because that's a beautiful knife. I think the Kraken in teal is one of my favorite trims. The reason why I got this purple is because it's actually more purple than the Squid Industries purple, which I prefer. I think the Squid Industries purple is slightly too magenta for me, which I understand the difficulties of anodizing aluminium. This is slightly closer to that Polaris purple, although not quite. It's kind of a nice in-between between the Polaris, which is, depending on lighting conditions, looks different, and the Squid one. This does look a little bit more... I think on different angles, it looks slightly different on camera here, but it's fairly close, at least on my screen. If you're watching on an iPhone, it's fairly color accurate to real life. Not perfectly, however, in the sun, this also does just glimmer like beautifully. I really love the color here, and I love the flipping. I won't lie to you, I kind of hate that I really like how the Kraken flips. I really enjoy that this thing, it just does whatever you tell it to. It is my current #1 learning balisong. It's good for even learning stuff like scissors. There you go. I actually did a scissor first try. Nice. I've not done a scissor in a couple of weeks, so that's always nice to know that I've got it back. It sounds pretty good. Obviously, the real deal sounds better. The real deal is just bouncier. And it's obviously tighter made, it's like tighter tolerances. However, the real deal also comes with a lot of Loctite in the screws, which I don't know how I feel about. I'm not a fan of Loctited screws. I don't Loctite any of my balisongs anymore. I used to Teflon tape / Loctite them in the earlier days of my channel. However, I learned that if you have good enough screws and good enough hardware and good enough tolerances, it's a mixture between that. If you have good enough hardware and good enough tolerances, you shouldn't need to loosen your screws, to tighten your screws, like, ever. So, just to list off my balisongs, my Replicant, I don't ever have to do the screws on that until after a lot of flipping and dropping. I would say the Replicant is actually the only one that does have loose screws as an issue. The Armshark Tsunami have never had to touch the screws. The Serif never had to touch the screws, nor with the Prisma. In fact, with the Prisma, I was scared to touch the screws, but turns out it doesn't matter. Some other balisongs that I have, such as this, don't have to touch the screws. And the other balisongs, which I also have, which I've not unveiled on the channel yet, I also do not have to touch the screws at all. Like, I've tightened them when I got them, when I tuned them, and they have been rock solid ever since. I really do not understand how on earth the Kraken's popularity has skyrocketed it into something that performs so unimaginably well on YouTube. My videos do drastically better when I feature just this purple dude, which honestly, I think just for that, this guy makes some pennies on YouTube. I think just that is worth it being in my collection. If it makes you some little extra change so that you can buy more balisongs, then I don't think that's a bad balisong. And I really like that I can finally start to monetize my hobby somewhat and make it into something that I can eventually put a little bit more time into. I don't have a ton of time for making videos, which is why I have them in the format that I do. I hope you guys can understand that. I'm a fairly busy person, which is why sometimes the videos are inside, sometimes they're outside. I do try my best to kind of compromise in terms of getting the best video out for you whilst working around my own schedule. And I think I've been doing that fairly alright lately. Please let me know what I could upgrade in my videos. I know a lot of you want to see me with a head cam, and actually I do have something I want to try for that, so if you've stuck around this far, you know, fantastic. I do want to try out having a hat-mounted camera. I have a setup, it's the same setup I use for filming my car POVs. I think trying that out for balisongs could be really cool. I'll try it in a video at some point when it's not raining. and I'll try to do that outside. But otherwise, yeah, we have some really exciting stuff. There will be a new unboxing video coming out soon for something that might just be the new travel balisong. Link to buy this, it will be in the comments below. And 1 second. Bless you, thank you. Excuse me, I don't usually sneeze in videos, but there you go. Just had to keep that one quiet. The Kraken, it's really nice. The glossy feels really good in the hands. It's really quality. The screws don't need to be replaced. They're a little soft in terms of the male screws. The female pivots are really good. That's the females, that's the males. The female pivots, really, really good. The male screws are a little soft if you're cranking on them, but they do crank well. So I have no real qualms. I think Bali Plus have done a really good job. The fact that they are T10, they don't need to be replaced with the Squid original hardware, is already just a big improvement. So this is most of a Kraken for a fraction of the price. I'm not spending $300 on a knife. It's just not on an aluminium one, at least. On a titanium one, I understand a little bit. For the design elements, and titanium is a much more difficult material to work with, and it goes through bits more, and you need all sorts of stuff because it's just a pain in the bottom to work with in terms of grinding and stuff. If you do grind titanium, I just can't see myself doing that kind of justice for aluminium. Aluminium is one of those where it is nice that there is a budget option. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I think that this is grippier than I was expecting it to be. But don't get me wrong, sometimes it is just a slippery balisong, and it does slide out the hands. I don't think I'll be able to demonstrate that at the moment, because I've got pretty ideal grip conditions right now for balisongs. Oh, there you go, that was a nice exaggerated aerial. I'm kind of scared to catch someone with this dude. I don't know why. It's like integral fear of balisongs. I can do them on the Arm Shark Tsunami, but I've learned the spinning balance of that, which is awesome. Also, shout out to my girlfriend. She got me this beautiful Corrupt t-shirt, jumper, hoodie. Why can't I say words? She got me this beautiful hoodie for Terraria, and I love Terraria, if you guys don't know. I think I only have one Terraria video on my channel, which I don't even know if I uploaded. So yeah, anyways, that's a fun fact about me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this video was a bit more rambly. I'm still very jet lagged and trying to get back into the swing of making videos. And it's really something that I'm not quite used to just yet. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.